My name is Elizabeth. I am one of the educators at the Science Center, and I'm going to be facilitating today's activity with parachutes. So for our activity, there's a few materials that you're going to need. First, you're going to need a toy of some sort. So I've got a few here that I'm going to try to make some parachutes for. So yeah, you're going to want some sort of small toy that you can make your parachute for. And then some sort of lightweight paper. So I have some paper towels here. I have some wax paper or tissue paper. And I also have some construction paper. So I'm going to try it with a few different materials and see what works. And then you'll want some sort of string or yarn. So I've got some yarn here. And then you'll want some scissors and some tape. All right, any kind of tape I think will work. I've got some masking tape and some Scotch tape, but whatever you have will probably work. All right, awesome. Thanks, Jen. All right, so I haven't really built many parachutes before, so this is an experiment for me as well. But I was wondering what kind of materials might work best, so I decided I was going to try a bunch of different ones. So you can either try one material, you can try a bunch of different ones, whatever you are thinking. But I think the first step is going to be to get some string ready. So you can make it however long you want, but I think maybe 4 pieces of string will be best, because then we can attach those to each corner of our paper. But if somebody wants to try a different shape and use more or fewer pieces of string, I'd love to see how that turns out too. But so that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to get some string cut to the right lengths here. There we go. And if you need some help with the scissors, if you've got a grown-up or an older sibling around, they might be able to help you. Make sure you're being safe with those scissors. All right, so I'm gonna try my tissue paper first here. So it's not quite a square, but I think that's probably okay. And I'm going to tape my string into each corner. Now I don't want to, punch the string through or tie it, because I'm worried about if there was a hole in it, that might not work as well. So I'm going to just try taping it down. And here, I'll tilt my screen so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Let's see.
Looks like Kyle's computer over there, they're already trying out some parachutes. That's very exciting.
Some people are already got their parachutes up and running. That's awesome. I do not have a parachute up and running yet. I'm working on it. Let's see here. All right. Now, why might we want to make a parachute for our animals? Has anyone ever made a parachute before? Has anyone ever used a parachute before?
You got any parachutists? I see some nods. Have you made a parachute? Have we used a parachute? I hope we've just made them. Using them would be pretty intense, right?
But pretty cool. All right.
Go ahead, Joey.
I've only used, someone else was talking.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Ronan and Finn, go ahead.
We've only used a parachute in a video game.
Ah, you used a parachute in a video game. All right, well, why did you use a parachute? Were you jumping from a really high distance?
No. Yeah. So it's this mining mission where you have to there's this giant fan that you have to get through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then when you're almost to the bottom, it just makes you get a parachute.
Okay. All right. Pretty cool. All right, so I've got the top of my parachute here. I've got my dome and then my 4 pieces of string. Did anybody use less or more than 4 pieces of string?
Looks like there's a few people still getting their strings set up.
All right, well, maybe for my next one, I'll try either more or fewer because I'm curious to see how that might work if I had more strings or fewer strings. But for now, I've got mine started with 4 strings here. So now I'm going to tie my little creature here, my dinosaur. I think he's a raptor of some sort. I'm going to tie him into my parachute so that he will stay safe. So I'm just going to tie my string around his body. And then I might also put a piece of tape over all those strings to help keep him safe as well. We definitely don't want him to not be safe. So let's see here. What kind of toys do you guys have for your parachutes? Ooh, all right. I see some people have some fun figurines.
Oh,
Somebody's got a
wow.
rubber duck. Awesome.
Delia's got a person that looks like. That's very
Ooh,
cool.
Arlo.
Ooh,
Is that like a
Arlo
giant
has
ant?
an ant. Oh, that's cool. Oh, it looks
Nice.
like we've got a robot or a oh, Ronan Finn. Do you have the Incredible Hulk? No, you have a monster. That's very cool.
Killer Croc.
Oh, okay.
Killer Croc. All righty.
That's awesome.
Let's see here. I'm just getting my little velociraptor strapped in here. Almost ready. With 4 strings, it kind of takes a little while. All
I'm
right.
excited to see. Oh, Ronan and Finn have a Spider-Man. Looks like he'll be okay without a parachute too, right?
He's kind of too nervous.
All right, and then I'm going to add a piece of tape just to keep my velociraptor extra secure here. So if we hold him up here, then we can tape him in.
Looks like Mia's computer's got their stuff all set. Looks like you've got your parachutes. Have you got your you still need to put your people on your toys on your parachute? Let's see.
All right, so now I've got my little velociraptor all strapped in here. So now I think I might be ready to test. Well, he kind of ends up upside down, but that's all right. Now I actually made another parachute last night because I wanted to make sure that I was going to be able to make one that worked. So I have this one with a brontosaurus here made out of some construction paper. So does anybody have a prediction of which one might work better, the tissue paper or the construction paper?
Construction paper. Construction paper.
All right, we've got a few people thinking construction paper. Well, what do you think? Should we test them out? Are you guys ready to test yours?
Okay, one vote for tissue paper.
Well, let's see how it goes. I'm going to do something a little bit dangerous. So
Paper.
don't do this unless you have some adult supervision. But I'm going to stand up on this chair here so I can really test.
Ooh, Arlo's going up the stairs, it looks like.
That's a great idea.
Really great idea if you have stairs.
Work too. All right, so I've got my tissue paper and my construction paper. I'm going to hold them from the same height here. And let's see what goes better.
Woo.
Ooh, I think actually the tissue paper worked better. That was interesting. That is not what I expected, and I know that's not what a lot of you expected either.
So did the tissue paper one go slower or faster than the construction paper one?
For me, it went slower. Let's see if we can try it again and see if you can see them here. Seems like the tissue paper one goes a little bit slower, so maybe that works as a better parachute. I don't know. But I also got some a paper towel here, so now I want to try this one out and see if that might be better too. And this one, I think I'm gonna try even more strings. Did anybody try more strings or fewer strings? So you might be able to give me a, let's see here.
Nope.
Nobody's tried that? All right, well, let's see then. If I try
I'll be right back.
a few, maybe I'll try more strings. Maybe we'll do 6 strings on this one. Let's see what that would give us.
Arlo, did you try yours out? Woo! Did it go? Did it land? Nice.
I see some people have some cool parachutes.
Mine didn't land. My parachute has skinny paper,
Uh-huh.
and the bigger it is, it takes up more wind, so it's like slow motion.
Oh, so yours goes in slower motion with bigger but skinnier paper. That's interesting. Does anybody else have any observations on their parachute? Let's see. It looks like Mia's ready to drop.
Woo!
Ooh.
That looked like a good one. So Mia's computer, it looks like you had a nice slow parachute. What did you use?
So we're gonna try tape it.
Yes, just tape it. I can't get this.
Okay.
I'll tape it now.
What kind of paper did you guys use? Oh, we're doing another test there. Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
excellent. Got some parachutes going here. Looks like we're ready to do some testing.
I know how to do it. I didn't. So
Wow.
now I'm gonna tape the front.
All right, let's see here.
Okay.
I've got mine now with a whole bunch of strings. I'm gonna tape them all on and see what that's gonna do.
Hey, you guys want to share what you did, Mia's computer?
That's sort of like when everyone's mom landed in that tree.
That's right.
How did your parachutes work? Were you happy with how they worked?
Here, Maggie, I'll hold it up next to you.
No, not really.
Okay, well, what do you think?
You're gonna
we
make
could
some,
do?
make some changes, make some edits. What would you do different next time?
We didn't use some really great materials. We didn't have a lot of stuff. All we had was paper, but we didn't have any string, so we used thread.
Oh,
Didn't really,
but the thread maybe wasn't quite strong enough.
my
Okay.
brother's worked really well.
What did his use?
He used the same materials, but his worked a lot better somehow.
Huh,
I don't know what-
interesting. I wonder, were the toys that you were using different?
Or did you launch
No.
them differently, maybe? Sometimes.
I don't know. I'm gonna try mine.
Well, so sometimes when we're doing science things, sometimes we do them a few times because it doesn't work exactly the same way every time. We might have dropped our parachutes a little differently, or maybe we had them tilted slightly differently when we were doing it, or maybe there was a different wind gust in the room or something like that. So sometimes we just need to try things a couple times to see if they work. And then we can try making modifications.
I'm gonna try a different design, maybe see if it'll work a little better.
Yeah.
Oh,
that would be
cool.
great. And I would like to try these outside and see if that might change them too. What might be different if we were using our parachutes outside rather than inside?
Let's see, does anybody have, I can't tell if you guys have questions or if you are just raising your parachute. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Rowan or Finn.
It's been wind.
Okay,
Wind. Teach. I don't think she heard.
Wind.
Yeah, the wind might be different, right? So that's another thing that we would have to deal with that could help us, right? Or could make it harder depending on the direction of the wind, right? If the wind is blowing kind of up, it might be able to catch our parachute and slow us down even more. But if there's a really strong wind gust, maybe blowing all over the place, that might actually catch our person and our little toy and blow them somewhere we didn't want them to go.
so We should have some windy days in the next couple days, I think, so we can try some of this out. That should be really fun.
Yeah, we can try the difference between a calm day and a windy day. All right, so now I have my giant parachute with so many strings. And now, let's see, I'm going to use this shark, right? And he's a little bit bigger. He's a little bit heavier than my other toys. So I'm thinking maybe we'll have to see. Maybe this won't work as well for him just because he's so heavy. But we'll see what we've got here.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe different parachutes are better for different kinds of toys. That would be something to try too. Looks like we've got lots of testing going on. Does anybody want to share any observations that they have? Or any modifications that they made? Go ahead, Rowan or Finn.
No, I'm building my parachute.
You're building your parachute. Excellent. That's the thing. Everybody keeps going like this, and I don't know if you have a question.
Lots of building going on.
Excellent.
Like some other people are testing on their stairs. That's awesome.
I see somebody standing on something very safely, which is great.
Yes, with some adult supervision. Like to see that. We want to make sure we're staying safe even when we're doing fun science activities.
That's right. Science and safety can go together.
Let's see here.
All this testing. Looks like the disadvantage of testing on the stairwell is you have a lot of time in between your tests, right? Because you have to go up and down the stairs.
You gotta go all the way back down to get it and bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Anybody want to share anything about what they've been doing? If they made any modifications? Mia and Izzy look like they've done lots of testing.
All right, let's see here. Almost ready.
Looks like Alana's has done a few different ones. I think that's a new parachute, right?
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the cool thing is, right, even after we sign off today, you can keep making more parachutes with different materials.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you even come up with something later that you want to try, you can keep your old parachute and then test it against your new parachute and see which one works better. All right, it turns out it takes a lot of time to tie 8 different strings, but I'm almost ready with my shark here.
That's what I was thinking. That's a disadvantage, right?
Yeah, you can see my poor shark. He's got a whole bunch of strings tied to him, but we're almost there. I've got one left, I think. I just have to find where my last string ended up. Here we go. My last string for my little shark.
Oh, it looks like we got somebody else going outside. Somebody's going outside on a patio to test theirs. That looks like a fun place to test.
Nice.
Get a little height, get a little wind, see how that goes. Arlo's doing another stairwell test, which is very cool.
All right, I've got all my strings tied on, so now I'm going to add just a little bit of tape for some extra security for my shark here.
Excellent. It looks like Mia and Izzy are doing some more height testing, which is excellent. Very safely. All right.
Here, I've got my parachute all ready for my shark. He ended up kind of upside down, so hopefully this parachute works, because otherwise he's going to go head first into the ground. But let's check it out. Good thing it's just a toy shark.
That's right. I think you would have trouble tying 8 strings around a real shark.
That's probably true. All right, so here we go. I've got my parachute with 8 strings and a shark. Ooh, that one actually worked better than I was expecting. So now I'm going to compare it to one of my other ones, maybe my tissue paper one, because that one
It looks like Mia and Izzy have some really successful testing going on as well with their adult supervision and height. Oh, that's a great one. You got a really good result. That's nice.
All right, let's see here. I think it looks like my tissue paper one is still the winner. Did anybody else use tissue paper for theirs?
I don't see.
No, nobody's tried that.
We
Well,
use tissues.
You used what now?
Tissues.
Oh, tissues. How did
tissue.
that work? Did the tissues work well?
Pretty well.
Pretty well. All right, cool. Yeah,
I haven't actually.
you haven't actually been able to test it all yet? All right.
I think that's a great use of materials, though. That's really neat. Think about other things you could use in your house if you have like some junk mail or some envelopes or things that are really thin in your house. That would be fun to try.
Yeah, so let's see, I have 3 different ones now with 3 very different materials, and they all move a little bit differently. So I'm gonna probably go test them outside later today and see if that makes a difference, because I might be able to get up a little bit higher outside too. We can try it that way. Now, if you guys have really cool designs, we would love for you to share them with us on our Facebook page. So if you have, what's that?
That's pretty heavy.
Fins didn't work.
Fins didn't work so well. Well, that happens. But if you guys have one that does work that you want to share with us, we would love to see it on our Facebook page. So you can have a grown-up help you take a picture of your parachute, or maybe even a video if you want to take a video of launching your parachute. And then if you want to post that on our Facebook page, we would love to see all the different parachute designs that you guys have made, because it looks like you have some really cool ones. Alana, I like yours. I wonder, is that like a note card that you've got there? Interesting. I'm curious to see how that might work.
I'm very excited about all this engineering that we're doing today. I think this is very cool. Tomorrow we're going to do some chemistry. So we're going to use different household materials to try to clean up some pennies and see if we can make pennies get shiny. So we're going to think about some of the different chemicals that we have in our foods and how they can work on pennies. So I hope that you guys, some of you join us tomorrow at 10:30. And meanwhile, I hope that you have a great day with your engineering. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining. And yeah, keep experimenting with those parachutes. And we want to see what cool things you come up with.